Hey everybody, Brock Frady here, helping you enjoy your ride. In today's video, we're going to take a look at this glorious 2022 Lexus LX600 F-Sport. But before we get started, I would like to say a huge thank you to Impex Auto Sales in Greensboro, North Carolina for the opportunity to film this amazing machine. I'll be sure to leave all of Impex Auto Sales contact information, including their website, in the description box below. It's almost unfair what Lexus does. Lexus builds a luxury vehicle that is literally unrivaled. There's nothing out there that can touch this, and here's why I say that. Number one, it has just as much, if not more, luxury features than any other big luxury SUV. It has Lexus reliability. It doesn't break. It's going to last you as long as you need it to last. You can give this thing to your relatives, you'll be dead and they'll be driving it. Okay. It also has unbelievable technology, unbelievable capability, unbelievable luxury. Wait till we get inside this thing. And it's only $107,000. Now, compare that to the big Mercedes, to the big BMW, and you're not going to get anywhere near that price tag with what this vehicle is. Plus, it's just sexier than socks on a rooster. I'm dead serious. Look at those wheels, those beautiful black F-Sport wheels. Those are absolutely incredible. F-Sport badging here. Of course, it has that unbelievable pearl white paint that looks like you could reach into it. I really wish you were here in person so that you could see this with me, because it is just a sight to behold. One of the things that I love about the rear end is the fact that Lexus took the Lexus name and spread it out over the rear end. Isn't that glorious? LX600 badging there. It's really pretty muted as far as the badging is concerned. You have the F-Sport badges on the sides, you have the Lexus on the back, LX600 on the back, and that's pretty much it. Is that not amazing? Check out the window line here. You can see that it comes to a point there in the very back with that beautiful chrome surrounds all the way around the windows, and then that chrome surround goes all the way to the front and to the bottom. Beautiful body colored handles and chrome, so they're body colored plus chrome. Pretty incredible. You also have a little dimple right here on the outside of the door handle. That's to lock the doors. The doors are unlocked right now, so you can just touch this, and as long as the key fob is on your person, the doors lock, the mirrors fold in, and you get the beep and the flash of the lights to indicate that it is locked. That is also applicable for the rear doors. So there's a dimple on the rear doors as well where you can lock. When you're ready to use the LX, all you do is grab the door handle, it unlocks automatically for you, and then you can open the door. Super easy. Let's go around here to the back. You can reach right here directly under, and there's a little rubber panel right here. You can just squeeze that and the LED lights flash to let you know that the gate is about to come up. And of course you heard that tone there, indicating that the gate was about to come up. Look at that interior leather color. Glorious. We'll take a little bit more in-depth look in that in just a minute, but there are 5 seats there. You do have 2 more seats here, and the way you access those, it's going to be a little tiny bank of buttons right here, and you can just push this left or right. When you push it toward the back of the LX, you can see that the seat is starting to come up, and it comes all the way up, and it will actually form a 3rd row seat right there before your eyes. You do have to reach over and pull the headrest up, and then there is your left portion, or the driver's side portion of your 3rd row seat. This is going to be for kids. It's not going to be comfortable for adults, but you know the deal. You do have a little bit of storage here once that 3rd row seat is folded up. Not too much storage, but look at the tremendous amount of storage that you have when the 3rd row is down, which is going to be probably the primary function of, it's probably going to be this way a lot when you're driving the LX. You also have a first aid kit right there. I love this kind of bridging right here. You see this? It's got kind of this F-Sport metallic look strip right there that says F-Sport here, and it's also backlit. That is super cool. I think there's light. Yeah, sure enough, look at that. But it's almost like a bridge to where if you have a heavy suitcase or something, you can kind of balance it up on that and then pull it all the way up into the rear. There's a space for a tow hitch here, a little bit of a plastic panel, and you can pull that off, and that's where you're going to attach a trailer or a bike rack. It looks like a little bit of an air diffuser right here. I think that's what that is. For aerodynamics. You also have a little circle right there. That's going to be park assist. There's also a little circle in this portion of plastic here that looks like this cool diamond pattern. But that's what beeps whenever you get too close to something at low parking lot speeds. LED tail lights. I love how this is just good looking right there, and it even feels nice. I'm feeling the tail light of an SUV. Can you tell? I'm fanboying right now. The way you pull this back down is you can actually access it, or you can close this with your key fob, but then there's a button here. You can manually do it right there. No need to do it manually whenever it is power. And there you go, that tailgate automatically going down beautifully. Isn't that nice? And I just love this whole motif of this big band, black and red going all the way across. It just looks so luxurious. And there's nothing that looks like it's accidental or an afterthought. Everything is so well arranged on the LX. Let's move over here to the front, because I am the biggest fan of the front of this big spindle grille design that Lexus has had for a number of years. And there have been people that say they don't like it. There's people that absolutely love it. I am in that group that absolutely love it. Check out this hood. It's got this real muscular design, big ridges, big deep ridges. This, of course, is part design, but more functionality for aerodynamics. And it's nice that you can actually see this big, huge ridge while you're driving. It kind of gives you a point of reference right there. LED lighting up front. Big triple beam LED headlights here, LED daytime running lights here with a little bit of a luxurious metallic touch there that says Lexus on the outer portion of the front headlight washers right there. But look at the continuation of the spindle grille all the way over here on the outside. That is just super fantastic. This is actually a functional air dam, because on the other side of that you can see the radiator, excellent for cooling. Beautiful, big, bold Lexus logo emblem right there with a front camera, super nice. You also have, I don't know if you can tell it, let's zoom in here, but you can see a little bit of a triangle right there. That is another camera, and that's gonna be a lot. The combination of these two, of this up front, there's equipment up front that is like radar cruise and all that stuff, safety things, and then a combination of that right there up in the windshield is gonna keep you safe. You also have an LED fog light right there. Check that out. That is positioned beautifully, because look how low that is, so that you can see much better. Man, that is just a stunning front. What a glorious exterior of an SUV. The base MSRP of this glorious LX600 is $101,000. Now, as I mentioned, this one has the F Sport Handling Grade package, and it used to be called the Lexus F Sport, but now this is F Sport Handling Grade package. The reason for that is because it's actually more functional than just looks. It used to be more of a cosmetic thing. There were some suspension upgrades and whatnot, but listen to all the things that are included in this F Sport package and you'll realize, man, this package actually has chops. The F Sport exterior styling, 22-inch F Sport forged alloy wheels, absolutely glorious. F Sport tuned suspension with rear stabilizer bar, 7-passenger semi-aniline leather seating, and semi-aniline leather seating is leather that is dyed all the way through, so it is more color fast in order to resist fade over time. So this is going to maintain that glorious rich red look. As far as safety and convenience features, it has the Lexus safety safety system plus 2.5. That includes pre-collision system with pedestrian detection, all-speed dynamic radar cruise control, lane tracing assist, lane departure alert with steering assist, intelligent high beams, F-Sport heated and leather trimmed steering wheel, F-Sport aluminum pedals, and front door scuff plates. The fuel economy is a combined 19 miles per gallon with 17 city and 22 highway. Do use premium fuel. It has a 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 with 409 horsepower, a 10-speed automatic transmission, full-time four-wheel drive, adaptive variable suspension, Torsen limited slip differential, and an integrated tow hitch with an 8,000-pound tow capacity. This is one of those times where I swear I wish I could bring my entire YouTube audience into this vehicle with me. I don't say that much, but man, I wish you were here, because this is an experience. This is not just a vehicle. This is something that you get into and you bask it in. If you drove this vehicle and you went and you picked somebody up and they got into this thing, they would be shocked. They would be surprised. Even if they were used to luxurious things, this vehicle is something that just like strikes awe. Let me show you one of the reasons why. Take a look at this leather. And here's another reason why I wish you were here, because I would wish you could feel it. It does not feel like any other leather in any car that I've ever tested other than another LX. The rear seats are heated and are ventilated. They will recline, they are power, and they are a beautiful thing. Amazing contrast stitching right there. And then you have this center console, little button here, and that reveals a couple of cup holders. But look at this beautiful bank of buttons right here. Outboard rear seats are heated and ventilated, plus you have all those automatic climate controls for your rear passengers right there. How awesome is that? Plus you have vents here, this beautiful center console, which we'll get into in just a second. You can see that you have a sunshade right here in that back glass. And then right there is a speaker, Mark Levinson 25 speaker audio system, another vent. Hidori, beautiful aluminum trim right there. It's just something else. It's just a feast for the senses, this thing is. And just look at that. It's not just like a bunch of holes that are in there. It actually almost looks like wood in a way, like a speckled wood. There's the Mark Levinson indicator right there, the little name, Hidori trim. And look at all the different elements that are going into creating the interior of this back door. Another speaker there. Boy, I bet the audio system in this thing is just another thing that you have to experience. This is the front passenger door. More beautiful stitching. I love how this door handle, it's like it's molded. It's almost like it's clay. It's like it's art. Everything about it is just absolutely purpose driven and just artistic. More of that aluminum trim, Mark Levinson, power windows and door locks, door storage here, speaker. This is the second best seat in the house because the driver's seat is by far the best seat. Beautiful split screen here, and I cannot wait to go over all this with you because this is just an incredible thing here. And my gosh, Qi wireless charging. And then you have the center console right here. I'll get into that in a second. But it's just an incredible vehicle. Now, I told you this was the best seat in the house. Just look at that steering wheel. All of the stitching here, of course it's heated, but look how everything is just like integrated. It's just so well put together. There are so many different elements that go into just this section of the steering wheel, but look how everything is just perfect in line and usable. Over here on the left side of the steering wheel, you see OK with a multi-directional keypad. That is going to control a lot of the things that you see up here on the dash. There's a back arrow, there's a phone, voice commands, and then volume. You don't actually have to use this for voice commands because you can say, "Hello, Lexus."
What do you want to do?
It's too cold. and it just cut on the climate control system. And then over here on the right side of the steering wheel, you have all of your, this is mainly safety features and cruise control. So this is going to be the radar cruise control here. This is going to be the lane keeping, lane trace assist, lane steering assist, and lane centering. And then this is your cruise control up and down, cancel, radar cruise control distance. So you can see that there are blue dots or blue lines right here, and that is the distance that it's going to maintain between you and the vehicle in front of you. That's right there. Left and right, that is going to be station skip or scan music whenever you're listening to a connected device. And then mode, that is your audio mode, AM, FM, XM, or streaming some audio source. And then you have paddle shifters here. You have upside or upshift on the right side, and then downshift over here on the left side. You can see the negative. Then this is going to be your turn signal stalk, your wipers and everything. And you can see here it says auto. And so auto is the headlights that cut on automatically as it gets dark outside. And then right here are your fog lights. This is automatic high beams. And then this is how to cut everything on. So this is headlights on manually, parking lights auto, and DRL, daytime running lights off. I recommend just having auto, and that has those beautiful LED lights on all the time. This stalk that we're looking at now is your windshield wiper stalk, and you can see it says mist, off, auto, low, high, and auto. And there is a little thing here in the middle, and that is how to control the sensitivity of the automatic rain sensing wipers, on, intermittent, and off. Then you can pull it toward you or push it away from you to wash either the front or the back glass, respectively. Over here on the left side, you can see view. I'll press that button in just a second and show you what it does. Odometer and trip. Arrows left and right or up and down, and that's gauge brightness, your instrument cluster. Set 1, 2, 3, that controls the personalized setting for your steering wheel, your seat, and your mirrors for up to 3 people. This is going to be for your window up and down, door locks, mirror controls, and also window lock. This is to open the back glass on the far left, and then your automatic engine shutoff is right there. So that controls whether the engine will cut off automatically when you're sitting still. Power tilt and telescope steering wheel here, so you can just pull this down and up, in and out. That's part of your memory seat setting as well. I'm about to use the up, down, left, and right, and OK multi-directional keypad to control some of the things that we're going to see here on the dash. You can see the dash is absolutely beautiful. You can see that there is a big tachometer right there with a digital speedometer readout. Over on the left side, you can see a whole lot of lights lit up. That's automatic high beams, fog lights, daytime running lights, and seat belt. Outside temperature, odometer, and then radar cruise and lane tracing. And then of course over here you have your engine temperature and your transmission, and then over on the right side you have your battery and your fuel gauge. You can see over here on the far right where there's a little green icon that has N, and that is the lowering feature. So that actually allows you to raise and lower the LX, the entire vehicle, to make it easier to get in and out. It's a super cool feature, and I'll show you the buttons for that in just a second. Multi-directional keypad though, we're working with that on the steering wheel, and there it is. So over here on the left, the far left icon is information. And so now we can scroll down, and that's going to show our current miles per gallon, range, eco indicator. Eco indicator is kind of how fuel efficiently you're driving it. Tire pressure, also notice that there are 5 tires listed. That's because it's monitoring the tire pressure in the spare tire underneath the rear of the LX. And that's it. So we're going to go to the right, and there's your compass, audio. Okay, for audio source, so you can see what audio you're listening to right there. Radar ready, that's your radar cruise control. That's actually the panel that I have active pretty much all the time while I'm driving. No messages, and then settings. I'm going to scroll to the very top here by pressing up on the keypad, and then you can see here there's lane trace, there's blind spot monitor. That's the lights in the mirrors that light up if someone's in your blind spot. Park assist, rear cross traffic alert, RCD, heads up display, main, heads up display brightness and position, curve speed reduction. That's pretty cool. And so that's like whenever your radar cruise control is on, it can sense when you're going into a curve, and it's going to be more sensitive to reduce the speed in the curve. PCS is pre-collision system, and so all of this is going to be operated by this keypad. That's what I was using. The panel that we're looking at right now is at the very top of this entire stack of information and panels and everything. This is touchscreen. Over here on the left, you can see that you have your navigation screen. You can go here and touch that, and that's going to be your audio. Bluetooth, no devices are currently connected. Trip information, vehicle alert, and settings. You can also change the sound of that. Also notice how beautifully easy and effective and how sensitive that is with your touch. Personal info, general, screen beep. I want to cut that off. That's much better. Screen sensitivity, a higher value will allow smoother operation with gloves. That is just the coolest thing. So you can have gloves on and you can adjust this value up. And if you have the gloves that have the fingertips that have where you can press a screen, this makes it so that it's more easy to use the screen with those types of gloves on. Display allows you to adjust this based on time and ambient light. That is active, so we want that automatic so that the screen will adjust automatically bright or dim according to time and ambient light. There's camera, different settings for the camera. Vehicle customize. I recommend, if you get one of these, to spend some time in this screen, because this is going to be valuable for you because it allows you to customize how these things work. Look how classy and how muted all of the colors and everything are on that. You can zoom way out. You can see that there is a wreck right here. Look,
Accidents.
6.4 miles away on Randleman Road in Randleman, North Carolina. And you can see here, as I go back to it, you can see that this road right here, this portion of the road is red. That means that traffic is backed up all along this area, and that's real time. And it uses the satellite traffic. So you can see here on all of these thoroughfares that traffic is pretty much flowing pretty well right now in all these areas, because it's a combination of green and yellow. Traffic is actually a little bit backed up here. That's Battleground Avenue in Greensboro. That's always kind of congested. So that's just a really neat feature that allows you to know the real-time traffic condition in your area. Moving down here to the bottom portion of this split screen, I absolutely love the way this looks. I really like the way the top screen looks because it's classy, but look at this. Look how clear and just sophisticated this is. You have an accelerometer, a G-force monitor right there, but then you can see that you have the braking and accelerator, and these are going to show you in real time. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to go climate. God, I love how it just brings the screen up. The driver's side heated seat is on, the heated steering wheel is on, and so this is all climate. So AC, sync, front, rear, and option. And then you have all here your power modes. You can actually see where power is going to the wheels. Normal drive mode, it's in high 4, so all 4 wheels are working to power the vehicle. Automatic 4-wheel drive. And then this allows you to control the display and the brightness of the screen, although I think right now it is just absolutely perfect. Then right here are more climate settings. This is kind of like digital climate settings whenever it's here. These are manual climate settings with an actual button to push. This is going to be for your front heated wipers or defrost. So there's actually a defrost mechanism underneath the wipers, and that will cut that on right there. Climate concierge. Auto, so this is going to be fan direction, or recirculate and fresh, I meant. Automatic, that makes it work automatically like the central air in your house. You can see your display readout here. So the cabin is set to 68 degrees now, but the passenger can take over here and set their own, and it will control it right there. Multi-Terrain select is MTS, drive mode, downhill assist control, and crawl. So these two on the end are going to be for whenever you are in some type of nasty situation. And right now you can see this, the vehicle is actually raising up right now. It's in real time moving up. You can see that you have your pitch and your roll and everything here. but that lets you know that it multi-terrain select, it automatically raised the vehicle up, and now it's actually going back down. I can actually feel it dropping. And then you have DAC and crawl downhill assist control. This allows you to go down nasty, rocky, craggy type, you know what I mean, down hills. And it will take over for braking and accelerating. All you do is steer. I'm going to deactivate that, go back into normal drive mode now. The buttons that we're looking at right now are your heated steering wheel and then your climate controls for your seat, for your driver's seat. So that's the ventilated portion, that's automatic, and that is heat. Whenever you press, and that's totally off, whenever you press automatic, that is going to maintain the seat air or heat in conjunction with the heat or the air for the cabin itself. Down here, right behind the gear shifter, is a bank of buttons. You have park, hold, locking differential, traction control off, and then raising and lowering the LX. This is your brake, parking brake. So when you put it in park, you need to pull this in order to activate the brake. This is brake hold. This will automatically maintain a hold on the brake whenever you are at a stoplight, and whenever you want to go, all you do is just press the gas and go. Locking center differential, raising and lowering the LX. I love here that you have lighting inside of your cup holders. That's a super nice feature there. Then you also have Qi wireless charging, a little bank right there. This actually charges the phone pretty quickly. And then down here on the right side, underneath this low-high transfer right here for your all-wheel drive system is going to be charging for USBA, USBC. And then you have a little bit of storage right here in front of the gear shifter. The drive of the LX is an absolute joy. I know I've been just salivating over this thing this entire time, but I cannot just, I can't describe the how everything feels in this thing. It is just in another, it's in another place. It does have a decent response to steering input and everything. This is the F Sport, so it's going to be a little bit more I don't know, road appropriate from a turning and all that aspect, but this is definitely, this vehicle is meant for one thing, and that is just 100% pure comfort and absolute luxury, no doubt about it. And it does it better than any other vehicle I've ever driven. And I recently have reviewed a $140,000 Range Rover, and this is just, it's even at a different level than that. The thing that I would love to see in these seats is massaging, but that's okay. It's incredibly quiet, and watch this turning radius. Incredible. Twin turbo V6. You don't even feel the gears change. You don't even feel it changing gears. That is amazing. It sounds really, really good to have a V6 engine in it. I don't think anything is being piped into the cabin via the speakers as far as sound is concerned. It sounds great. It feels completely capable. You would think a vehicle of this size would just feel totally underwhelming with a V6 under the hood. Nope, not at all. It's so well tuned. The lane keeping system is not obtrusive. It's not clunky. It doesn't feel like it's trying to take over too much. It'll give you a little bit of a warning, then it'll pull you back. I love the two-screen concept. You don't have all your eggs in one basket as far as one screen is concerned. Really, really good. Really good stuff. The interior of this thing, I can't speak highly enough of it. And I know you can hear me really, really well on the microphone from the camera because there's just no noise. If you get to drive one of these things every day as your daily, I'm jealous. The heads-up display is full color. It's just absolutely brilliant. You can raise and lower the field of view of the heads-up display. I would love to take one of these things off-road, but I would love to take one of these out and use this downhill assist control, crawl control, multi-terrain select, all those things, and just see what it feels like off-road. To see if it feels luxurious, as luxurious in the mud as it does on the asphalt. I'm not exaggerating when I say you don't feel it changing gears. You feel 1 and 2, but you don't feel 3 and above. Something that I did notice, the brake rotors up front are really, really small, but she brakes beautifully. Activating brake hold. Brake hold is now on and active. My foot is off the brake. So now when this light turns green, all I do is tap the gas and go. Okay, everybody, that's going to do it for our look at this beautiful 2022 Lexus LX600. I would love to take another opportunity to thank Impex Auto Sales in Greensboro, North Carolina, for the opportunity to film this amazing machine. Be sure to check out Impex Auto Sales on the worldwide internet machine. I'll be sure to leave the link in the description box below. But remember, the most important thing of all, have a wonderful day, everybody.